All right, guys. It is you know who it is. It's my favorite up-and-coming Terran. It's Platinum Heroes NICORACT on the bottom right side, playing a TVZ up against REYNOR for Basilisk. Now, for those who don't know, Nico, his TVP is off the charts recently. He's been taking down Clem and a bunch of other top Protoss players. His TVT is not quite there yet. I saw him get absolutely dumpstered by Beyond the other week, but I've heard his TVZ is getting really good as well. So seeing these guys run into each other in this week's Wardy Mondays, I had to check out these games and see what went down. I've been following his games. A lot of the games I don't necessarily upload to YouTube or anything. You know, we're just kind of watching him in the early stages of online weeklies. But I feel like Nico and Percival are the two Terran players that are coming up in their respective regions and just putting on amazing performances. Percival, of course, was very focused on upcoming RTS titles and trying to be the best at any new game coming out. Didn't quite work out, of course, with things like Stormgate not really doing so well as a game. And he's back to full grinding. He's getting really good. But I think Nico's also just fantastic. I remember when I first played Nico, I was like, this guy is pretty basic. He's like good at executing, but he kind of just does the same thing over and over and like kind of obvious. Like, I'm going to do it 2-base all in. Look at me. And I'm like, okay, that's all right. You're good at doing it, but you're not like, you know, we'll see how far this takes him. But turns out he was just practicing because he's added more. He's added more strategies. He's added more macro play. His TVP is a multitasking bonanza, very Clem style. He's just attacking in two places the whole time. He's constantly active, macroing really well, microing really well. And I think, you know, if you're just going to grind out and try to become the best player you can, that is one of the best ways to do it, right? Play solid styles and just get as good as you possibly can. SCV is going to go over to the third base. It's a good block. I think this is a big mistake for REYNOR, guys. Winter Madness, the other third base, is appallingly bad out here. You can't take it. So this means REYNOR's going to have to send Queens out to secure this third. I noticed that a few of the top Zergs on this map, they always take that third base really early just to make sure it can't get blocked. And that's something I've been trying to remember to do. Whenever I forget and I get blocked, this opening feels really rough. Great block for Nico. Really well done. And REYNOR does take the other this third. Sucks, man. At least he gets it up quickly, but it feels really awkward to take that base. Nice third command center opening behind this one as well. I'm not too versed in how players have been doing. Am I mistaken in thinking REYNOR's been fumbling a bit lately? Oh, I mean, REYNOR has been inconsistent over the last 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. Yeah, he doesn't practice as consistently as he used to. I think he's more consistently practicing these days. Like, I don't know, like 4 hours a day at least, most days. Whereas before he would just not practice. He'd just go party, do whatever. And then like he'd just try to grind 1,000 games in the month leading up to a tournament. And he'd burn himself out. He was just kind of putting too much pressure on his shoulders. And it's kind of like your classic young lad who's just trying to cram for his exams. And, I think he's found a lot more balance in the last 6 months to a year, but he's had a few big tournament experiences that may have shaken his confidence. So basically, it's one of these things where he kind of threw against Cyril at the World Championship. He probably should have won that series twice. He had 2 big advantages that slipped away. There was another big tournament. I think he let some series slip against, was it Cyril or Clem? So he's had a few kind of close misses where he's ended up winning, oh, you got $30,000 or something when you could have won $400,000 potentially. And I think that's definitely affected him. On the other hand, I still think he's top tier. And I think he's very, very good right now. But he's more of a gambler than a Cyril. And yeah, his performance does go up and down. I don't think we see that much of his performances, is what I'd point out. And I would say that there are certain guys like Hero that get the better of him. And he kind of, I think you can see when he gets tilted playing Hero. You can see when he gets tilted playing Maru. Those two guys, I think, are very good at stylistically playing against REYNOR. Against everyone else, he's still just an absolute force to be reckoned with. And I really think he should have been able to finish those last few times, Cyril, those last few times they played, and which is very impressive. Cyril, normally the king of ZVZ, but REYNOR is right up there and able to party with him. He's just got to be, I think, a little bit better at not just keeping it together under pressure, which, I mean, that's just StarCraft in general. It's so hard to keep it together when you're managing so many things so quickly, but just got to keep working at it, and I think he will. You know, I think people say Reynor is fumbling or he's not as consistent. I mean, that means he's not winning world championships, remember. Reynor made it to the world championship in 2019, 2020, 2021. 3 years in a row, those seasons. He won one of them, and he got the second place in the other 2 years. I mean, that's such a wild run. And since then, definitely his performance dipped for a while, but I think he's back up to easily being a top 5 player. But he'll still drop series a bit more than the Serals and Clems of this world who are untouchable. All right, Nico's over here, guys. Hellion Banshee's going to start to pick up these queens. Not much transfuse energy left. Oh, he does have energy, but he didn't quite land that transfuse. Good surround with the Lings, though. Great surround with the Lings. I think even though he loses some queens, I think that's worth it to clean up those Hellions. That's a good hold for Reynor. At the end of the day, what did you lose? A few Lings, a few queens? You do not care about that. You're not losing drones. Your 4th base is coming up super early. Carapace is already done with the lair almost finished, which means you can start +2 Carapace, and guess what? +1 weapons has just started. That's not even a late upgrade. He's played Hellion Banshee. The upgrades are meant to be this late. This is a beautiful opening for Reynor, and this is Reynor doing Reynor things. If Nico doesn't find some damage soon, I think Reynor's going to run away with this game 1. Chat says, note, Reynor's practicing 6 hours a day, LOL. Oh, you mean 6 hours of League of Legends a day, or actually 6 hours of StarCraft? Because a lot of people joke that he just plays League of Legends every day. It's more of a meme than anything. I think that is his favorite kind of game to relax to and have fun with. And he'll stream it occasionally, so people are like, wow, if you don't win every tournament, it's because you're just playing League of Legends every day. It's a very dumb meme. Then again, so I think Reynor does seem to get a bit annoyed by it, so that's probably why people won't shut up. Does he really, though? I don't know. Someone said that to me the other day. I don't think he cares. I don't think he really cares that much. But Reynor, because he's always had a fun kind of cocky personality, he does have a dedicated set of haters. So I think Reynor probably shouldn't put too much stock in what those dum-dums say. There's a lot of guys who, if you banter and you act confident and you say some kind of brash things in a competitive environment, especially in StarCraft, if you don't just like meekly smile and say, oh, I want to play good games for my fans, they like really hate you. I think they get flashbacks of like confident guys bullying them or being mean to them in high school or something. Because it's this really weird energy where if you don't do the like super just, oh, yes, I want to represent my team and sponsors and play good games for my fans. Like, they're actually angry that you show personality. If you're one of those people, guys, like, I think you're the worst part of the StarCraft community. Like, don't get me wrong, it's good to have people be a bit like, Reynor's a bit cocky, wouldn't mind him being taken down a peg. He was making fun of my favorite player. That's fine, but these guys are just, like, weird about it. They're too obsessed. They're like, how dare he say a funny comment, you know? Medevac's going to pull to the right side. These guys going to push in the middle. And she's on the left as well. Hive's almost finished already, dude. And double macro hatchery, I love it. Dude, he's doing the no Baneling style. How do you deal with this? Well, usually you want to find a timing before ultras are out. It is equal upgrades now, but with +2 Carapace coming in, dude, if he can land 1 or 2 good fungals, Nico's so dead. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, Ling Run By comes in from behind. Here we go, fungal! Oh my god, but actually, he's holding the choke point. He holds the choke point, it doesn't matter. Oh my gosh! Reynor completely squishes that army. The Infestors! Careful, the Infestors, mate! Oh, the Banshees do get 1, but I don't think that really matters. The Lings absolutely crushed that. I think it made sense for Nico to hit, but he wanted to hit before +2 Carapace, and he needed to spread out and land the tank shots on the Infestors. Now he's going to try and hold that mineral line. Nico actually with some good micro trying to scramble. The Lings are going to kill the 4th command center though. 4th command center gets killed, not cancelled. Reynor has to back off now. Going to tear down the depot in the natural, but I think backing away is the right call, and indeed he's going to do just that. As ultras hit the field, the danger for Reynor is disappearing. He's got +2 melee on the way, probably can't afford +3 Carapace, probably just go ultras and hit a timing attack. But Nico's just too far behind. This is a style that Reynor's playing that I've been a big fan of for a long time. I never expected a pro player to pull it out as consistently as Reynor has over the last 6 months. Reynor has been crushing people with this build at the top level. And like, you need to find a very narrow window to punish it, or you just get swarmed, because you have so much money when you play this low gas, heavy mineral style. You can make a crazy amount of Zerglings and just swarm. You use those couple of Infestors for splash damage, plus their ability to disable the enemy army. Oh, this doesn't make sense. Right? Does it? Oh, is he going to get the tanks? Dude, he just YOLOs. He just YOLOs. REYNOR just goes for a big YOLO, kills most of the tanks. Dude, what a crazy fight. I mean, I guess he's far enough ahead he could do that, right? I think he's just far enough ahead. He's going to go in with the Ultra Infestor, maybe. Spire's on the way. Adding Baneling Corruptor to this Ultra Ling Bane Infestor army is what will completely round it out. But obviously, Lings are good versus tanks. It's just attacking into a big blob of Marines with only Lings not good. Ultra Infestor should get it done, though. Fungal lands. Oh, another big Fungal. Oh, but the tanks did focus him down. Nico wisely taps out. That is just a case of REYNOR good hold on the Hellions. I think the Hellions overcommitted early and got surrounded by the Lings was bad. And then REYNOR just got away with ridiculous greed. That's really tough. You usually want a lot of Widow Mines or Hellbats against this style. Can be really amazing as well. Siege tanks, obviously not the optimal factory unit. I think Nico had no idea what he was playing against. All right, guys, Nico in the bottom left side of the map, REYNOR in the top right. People were saying Idra used to have a lot of haters as well. Difference, Idra would call people every single name under the sun. And just be like, this game's garbage, I hate it, the community sucks, all my opponents are garbage humans, Neanderthal morons, you know. REYNOR, on the other hand, will be like, hey, this guy's a bit washed, he can't keep up with me, I'm gonna smash him. So, you know, I think with Idra, you can kind of understand him getting so much kickback and so many haters who wanted to see him lose, but for REYNOR, I'm like, calm down, guys. We are going to see the Extractor Trick into 16 Hatchery. This is Old Republic, guys. Amazing map for Zerg. I can't believe Nico did not veto this map. This map is an invitation for Zerg to play Mutiling Bane. If I was playing this as Terran, I would think you're going to play Mutas, and I would do a Hellbat timing. Does that make sense? I'm theory crafting right now, guys. I'm not saying Nico should do this, but I'm thinking if I left this in the map pool, why would I do it, and how would I try to deal with it, knowing it's so favored for REYNOR? I think Hellbat timing makes the most sense. Maybe one of these like 3 medevac Marines with stim and shield timings with just like 4 Hellbats behind it. Some people saying, oh, I miss Idra. People saying, I don't know what there is to miss. It's those personalities in all games and sports that bring the community down. I think a little bit of that personality can be good. It's kind of fun to have people to hate and stuff. I think too much of it's probably a bad thing. It does create a bit too much negativity, but I think having villains to cheer against can be quite good. Just you don't want it to dominate the community too much. Like, it is a bit gross when the people are really, like, crazy aggressive and disrespectful and rude. Like, there's boundaries, you know. I kind of like, I think, what do you guys think of Djokovic? I think Djokovic is kind of perfect in a way. In that, like, he's amazing, but also he's, like, not particularly likable, and he's just incredibly intense, and he's always angry that people aren't cheering for him and they're cheering for his opponents. He's like, I've been the best for so long. Why do you still cheer for these guys over me? He's got this kind of, like... And, like, everyone admires how good he is, but also, like, everyone kind of thinks he's a psycho. Do you guys get that feeling? I think he's the greatest of all time at tennis, but I kind of... First time I watched him up close in Oz Open quarterfinals 2020, just before COVID, and we had really good seats. We paid a lot of money for that. It was crazy. But only time we paid for good tennis seats, and I was like, you could sense his raging intensity coming off him, especially whenever the crowd cheered his opponent, or like, kind of like if there was a few jeers or boos against him, there'd be this like, so he kind of gets the crowd worked up against him without being a complete like dick. He just has this like very intense kind of cutthroat competitive energy about him. Oh, Ling's taking a lot of damage. Oh no. Oh, dude, this is not good for REYNOR. REYNOR, stop throwing the Lings away, bro. Also, guys, what's this third hatchery about? I guess he's just going to do a roach aggression, is he? What? He's pulled off gas, though. Interesting build. Why did he take the third hatchery out here? Just because this one was blocked? Guys, REYNOR's playing the map wrong. He's taken the bad hatchery. He should have just got the third up early, or like forced it, I think. I guess he gets a fourth bind for free, and he's playing roaches on the map where you're meant to play Ling Bane. Is REYNOR playing the map wrong, or am I an idiot? Nico's playing Hellion Banshee off 2 gas, no third command center. I mean, it does kickstart your creep to the center of the map, but it's how do you defend Hellions? So many angles they can come from. This is really awkward to cover all these different paths they can come from. If Nico can do some good multitasking here, it's going to be really hard for Reynor to keep up. No drones on the third. Only one. Sees the roaches. Does he build a bunker? I don't think he... I think because his Banshee is so fast, he feels very safe. Oh, Alien Reaper going down. It's not great for Nico. There's actually a good defense, and now the droning can just go. There's on the way as well. Oh, he's going to drive in. Quite a few drones go down. Aliens need to pull away. Uh-oh, Nico, don't be throwing these away. 6 drones was good, but you need to keep these alive. He's got to keep some presence up. Banshee's staying at home because he's worried about roaches coming across, but I think when the second Banshee comes out, he pairs these up, flies them across, looks for some damage. Spores haven't been built yet. It's 5 minutes. Okay, now it starts very late, Spores. Dude, if Nico hit with Cloak right now, he could have done big damage. Does Reynor didn't even realize this was a 2 command center build. He should have known from this depot timing that he scouted earlier that this is incredibly fast Hellion Banshee, but it feels like Reynor really cut a corner here by not building those spores till now, and he's gotten away with murder. All right, second Evo. Sorry, that's an infestation. Only 1 Evo. So it's going to be early Carapace into Quick Hive for Reynor. I think he just wants to rush Ultras off the back of a few Roach Ravager. He skipped Roach Speed, though, so doesn't even have the second gas in his main. Oh! Those 3 aliens from earlier! I told you needed to keep those alive. 7 drones! So the Banshees end up serving more as a distraction. Not actually getting any kills, and it's those guys that do the damage. He's going to deny some creep over here as well, knowing he's probably unlikely to kill the 4th hatchery. Good call. Well done, well done. But I think Reynor, he's rushing infestation too early in this game, right? He does have 70 drones, but his gases are only now coming up. His 4th hatchery will be up at a good timing as well. And no roach speed is a huge misstep. He's going to 80 drones as Reynor. What are we doing? Is it Infestors or Hive? Infestors. Okay, so he's got 1 Infestor, 6 roaches. He needs gases on his 4th immediately. Reynor literally doesn't even have Ling speed. He can't build mineral defensive units. Reynor, he's building another Infestor, making 1 more. He needs gases. Both gases need to go up right now. If he doesn't make Ling speed, he literally dies to 20 Marines coming across this map. Hive starts. Reynor does not seem to realize the situation he's found himself in. I think he feels like his gas is a little late. I don't think he realizes just how late his gas is. He doesn't have Roach speed. He's got no army. He's going to make Ling speed now. Guys, there is greed, and then there is a heinous level. It's a 2-base Marine tank all-in. He doesn't even have add-ons on his 4th. Reynor has just not been scouting at all. He's going to 85 drones, and he's building Spine Spores and a Hive and Infested drone. This is insane. It's a giant map. I don't think it was a good build choice for Nico. I got to be honest, I don't think it was the best build choice, but it might pay off because Reynor is just playing ridiculously. No roach speed. He's trying to make Ravager Zergling. Ling speed's still 50 seconds away. This is a crazy style for Reynor. Does he? Surely realizes now what's happening. Oh my gosh. Fungal? Oh, but he runs his Infestor in. First Fungal was good, but he doesn't chain it. He needs to pull back. He needs to give this base up. If he survives on 3 base, he's still in a good spot. I still don't think Reynor realizes just how caught with his pants down he is. Another amazing Fungal. Nico not respecting the Fungals. And the Biles. The Biles. The tanks stack up, but he only gets 1 of them. Reynor needed to give this base up. This is Nico's old style. This is the old build that Nico did to me the first time we played. And then I saw him do it every second game. He would do this exact same build in his ZVT. He has done this build 10,000 times at least. I guarantee you. He has done this build so many times. It's very well executed, but it is a 2-base all-in. You cannot be going 85 drones against this man. The roaches without roach speed waddling out. He does get a surround. It doesn't matter. The Marines have 1-1. And Reynor caught with his pants around his ankles. Unconscionable greed from the Italian Stallion. All right, guys. Nico in the bottom right. Reynor in the top left. You absolutely have to overseer scout. I was just summarizing for the chat. I was saying, you got to overseer scout. This is the whole point of a fast lair build is check what you're up against and know what's going on. But it felt like Reynor, I always say Reynor's scouting nowhere near as complete as a guy like Cyril who likes to check everything. Reynor is the guy who charges into the house, kicks the door down, and then is like 2 seconds later, you know, in a TV show, and they're just like, room's clear, they're not here. And I'm just like, I don't think you guys properly checked in all the doorways and cupboards and stuff. Like, I feel like if you were actually clearing a building of, like, there's terrorists in there or something, like guys with guns, like, I think you'd spend a bit more time. Raynor's the guy who kicks the door in, just like, yep, no one's here. And there's a guy, like, under the bed with an AK. Cyril's the guy who spends 45 minutes, like, tearing up floorboards, checking there's no one hiding, you know. And Reynor just didn't scout that game. You had to get the Overseer. Didn't need a hive that early. He was putting the cart before the horse. Skipping roach speed with that sort of build is obscene greed. And on such a big map, it's not really necessary. So I think if he just went roach speed, roach ravager, you know, he had the carapace, 2-3 infestors, roach ravager, delay the hive by a minute and a half, get the gases on your 4th if you're droning that hard as well. Even without scouting it, he might have been able to hold if he had the 8 gases. Just had a bit more gas for roach ravager. My metaphors? Yeah, well, unfortunately for us in the chat, guys, our scouting, if we're talking in terms of, like, our StarCraft play, it's like, what was the SWAT operation where they're, like, they're trying to, like, blow the windows off the bus, and they just, like, in, like, the practice exercise or whatever, but they all end up just, like, getting glass shattered on themselves and stuff, and, like, or, like, the ones where they're trying to knock the door down, and they just can't. There's, like, you know, when the guy's, like, trying to knock the door down with the little battering ram, and they're just spending like 5 minutes banging the door, and they're like, oh, it's not coming off. That's me and you playing StarCraft and trying to scout our opponents and adapt. What's up, Bryson from Brazil? Brazil is here, just in case you didn't see. What's up? How are we doing, Brazilians? Brasilia. Fantastic place. Never been to Brazil. Always wanted to go. Oh, he goes around. Reaper's there. Can the Reaper block him? Oh! Reynor just made the mistake, guys. I've talked about this mistake a billion times. The mistake there is he told the hatchery to build from over here. You need to move to the center, then build the hatchery. Otherwise, it decelerates over the last little bit of distance. You need to move into the middle before placing the hatchery. Pros, every pro I see do this lately. Like, I think Cyril might be the only one who actually moves it in and then places it. It's a small thing, but in a situation like that, it actually matters because that Reaper barely blocked you. And yeah, that's a mistake there for Reynor. It does cost him now. He's gonna have to go take the crappy third, which an SCV is blocking. I don't think the other third's that bad on this map, actually. I think it's okay, but not the one that he wanted. No, I'm from Washington. I was joking. What's funny about being from Brazil? You think Brazil's funny? Mate, some of my Brazilian friends in the chat are extremely macho and patriotic, and they will be very mad that you think saying you're from Brazil is funny. Did you know Brazil has the highest rate of toxoplasmosis in the entire world? Cat-borne parasite makes you more macho, aggressive. Is that a true thing? I feel like that might be a made-up fact. I don't know. You guys let me know. Oh! Guys, he's doing the same build! He's doing his 2-base special again. Okay, Reynor, you played against it once. He sees the depot. Depot tells him this is not a 3 command center build. He should know that this is the same Hellion Banshee build Nico does every game, and that's why he's not going to be prepared for the battlecruiser. That's right, guys. It's a battlecruiser surprise. I wasn't expecting it. I don't think Reynor will expect it. Let's see if it works. Especially since people play less queens now, it might work out. Alien Reaper up there. Apparently that is a real fact according to chat. Don't think we have any Brazilians in the chat. Defend yourself, Brazilians. Is that the one that's carried by cat poo? Or is where it originally got into humans, but then it just spreads from human to human or something? I don't know. I can't remember. It's one of those things you don't really notice, but has like a small subtle effect on your temperament, apparently. Aliens and battlecruisers are on the way. Which StarCraft player do you guys think have toxoplasmosis and how they play in? It's like a brain parasite? Yeah. Which StarCraft players do you guys think play like they have toxoplasmosis? But you feel like SC2 is making a comeback? Kind of seems like it is. RTS is always up and down. I don't think it's making a big comeback. I think people always love RTS. There's always going to be people, if they get some free time, they want to play one of the most competitive games out there. StarCraft's great for it. Ooh! Good surround. No! Nico escapes, man. This Overlord's not able to scout. Battlecruiser's almost here, man. Dude, is he going 2-port? 2-port, 4-gas BC? Wait, is he going to show a single BC to sell the story of a normal, like, 1 BC into bio build. But then he's going to show up with, like, 5 BCs later and be like, lol, 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 lol. Or does he keep the BC back and hide it? He should rally it further back. That BC is too close to the front. And the thing is, you're expecting a 2-base all-in because of the last game, so Reynor's building roaches. He does teleport in. The Hellions are going to wreck these Zerglings. The Queens need to get out of there. That Spore Crawler is very vulnerable. Oh, dude, he's going to go after the Queens. The Hellions doing really good damage. Dude, the Queens are going down. There's no transfuse. He put a lot of creep tumors down. He's got so many active creep tumors, which means he doesn't have any energy for transfuse. And the BC teleports, killing all of his Queens. The Hellions. Oh my gosh, they're going to be able to get all the drones now while the BC kills the roaches. Dude, Nico with a surprise BC. And like, was it 10 Hellions? That's a crazy style. That's a crazy style. 15 drones go down. Nico conditions Reynor to expect a 2-base buy all in, and he's like, lol, tricked ya. Have some fun with the battle cruisers. And this reminds us of an old safety measure. I remember in the old days, we might need to bring back the early legacy safety measure. I'll analyze it at the end of this game and talk about it, guys. But we used to only put down like 4 creep tumors and then save the rest until 5.5 minutes to make sure there was no big surprise attack coming. And then we would put more creep tumors down. That way we'd have lots of transfuse energy saved up as a bit of insurance and safety. Reynor didn't have any transfuses. So the Queens started dropping like flies. And once they start dropping, you don't get a chance to regenerate the next ones. And it just gets really bad. So many drones go down. A desperate roach counterattack. And he's like, wait, where's your third? And the battlecruisers are like, third base? Mate, I'm not a cuck. I'm not building a third base. I'm going 2-port BC on 2 bases. The Overseer's now scouted it. Reynor, of course, needs his Spire, but can't afford it right now. He's super dead. Super dead in this game. With no Corruptor ability, he's got to try and contaminate the starports, but the Overseer's really weak there. Can he get past the Marine? Dude, if that Marine kills it before the Contaminate goes down, that would be crazy. Oh, no! He loses it before he gets the Contaminate. 3 BCs teleport in. And Nico with a massive upset over Reynor here. Reynor with such a good game 1. He dominated. But Nico comes back with 2 tricky builds. And I would say Reynor is still a god of this game, guys. But he is a bit vulnerable to cheeky, crazy builds. More so sometimes than the very safe players, right? Like guys like Cell. He's always been a fiery player who's willing to take a bit of a gamble. But yeah, occasionally someone snatches a build win with him over these sort of styles. And just the lack of scouting, game 2, a little bit sloppy. Game 3, blindsided by a build which is very rare these days. I would be very out of practice against this as well. No one does it anymore, especially at Reynor's level. I think these sort of builds that Nico does are really good as surprise builds against a player who hasn't played against this style in a long time. I think if people are doing this all the time, Reynor's really solid against this, really safe. But I think right now, no one's really done BCs heavily for the last while. And that means it's just not as powerful. I think if those 4 Hellions got surrounded, it's a totally different game. But look at the creep tumor count, guys. He's put so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 active tumors. Is 8 active tumors necessary? No, it's not. And look at when this fight starts. Where's his energy? If we slow this right down, he's got like 41, 38, 42, 9. So he's just shy of getting like 3 or 4 transfuses. Even if he just had 1 or 2 less creep tumors, he can transfuse again. He also, one of the quickest things you have to do in this situation, guys, is you need to grab the Spore from your main and move it here while your Queens run away. And he should have kept running, I think, with the Queens to get them together. Yeah, you can imagine a few more transfuses and the Spore Crawler joining in. This is a different game. Because then you can just keep building roaches to clear the Hellions, go back to droning, new Queens popping out can join up with that Spore. This Spore also should move down. I know it feels weird to leave your main undefended, but you move that Spore over, you move the one from the main to the natural. Really hard to do, but this can definitely work. GG, well played though, guys. Nico is coming up right now as a player. I still think his TVP is miles ahead of his TVZ and TVT, but if he can keep working on these matchups and stealing wins against guys like Reynor, I still think Nico is a guy to keep a close eye on. GG, well played.